In the last video, I said that I was going to go into the belly of the beast, but I realized that there was something I had been putting off because, frankly, I hate doing it, and that's the Labyrinth. There are three side areas that I have not yet completed, and I need to complete the Labyrinth itself to get my Ascendancy skill points. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I do know where two of them are. I do not know where the third is, but I think I might have an idea. So I am going to be doing more skipping and sort of, phasing through scenes from this point forward, because I think that most people who have seen the series up to this point no longer need me to go into all the details of my inventory management and, how I get from A to B, that kind of thing. So when there's a lot of just messing around looking for stuff or whatever, I will usually be skipping things. But in this case, I will go ahead and... Oh, I remember skipping over this. Was this where it was? Yes. I've got a Trial of Ascendancy in this area. That's one trial down.
Hope in the left hand, surety in the right.
Yeah. Next one is in the crematorium. Cat is making himself a nuisance again. Then the last one is, I forget where it said that was. I think it's a marketplace? Oh, Imperial Gardens. Okay. By the way, for newbies, this trial plaque will actually tell you what areas you may have missed a Trial of Ascendancy thing in that you have to go do in order to open the Trial of Ascendancy. And if you're really, really new, the Trial of Ascendancy itself is essentially how you choose your specialization. It is a really annoying set of puzzles in a labyrinth that you have to do, and unfortunately, I think the biggest reason that I dislike it is because there's a lot of pressure on the player to not only get through the labyrinth without dying once, but without disconnecting once. So when you're doing this thing, you gotta really kind of hurry through it, because if there is any interruption of it, you will lose all the time that you spent running through it. To clarify what I said here, you don't lose your character or anything like that if you die in the labyrinth, unless you're playing on hardcore mode, of course. It's just that you gotta restart the labyrinth over again. You don't have to redo all the side trials, as far as I know, if you die. It's just that you gotta restart the labyrinth itself, and it can feel like a waste of time if you have to do that. Now, of course, you can... If you're good at them, you can do them pretty quick. I mean, there's players at the end game who, at least what they used to do, because of the helmet enchantments that used to be available in the end game version of the lab, they would just run these things all day, which I don't know how they could stand to do that, but so it's not a super hard thing to do. It's just, it is a longer chunk of time than normal on a piece of content that you have to spend, and you have to spend it under pressure. You have to have basically an uninterrupted run to minimize the chances of getting disconnected. So, I'm going to open that up. There are three... Or is it four? Yeah, I think there's four of them that you have to do in order to get all of your Ascendancy points. And when you activate that fountain that I just hit out there, you can open up the level that you want. So I'm doing the one that's level 33. And the principle of this is that the layout appears to be semi-randomized, although I believe it's actually randomized every day, and then every player has the same layout for the place. and you can check these little podiums at the doors of each section. I will look at one soon when I find a door. And it'll give you a little graphic that tells you what is in the next room. And the next room might have a key, or it might have, let's see, the next room, yeah, it's going to be just the aspirant trial, which means that I'm about to do a boss fight that is, there is a 3-part boss fight in these trials that you have to get through, where you do some damage to the guy, and then when you take a third off his health, he runs away, and that happens until you kill him. And then once you kill him, you have completed the labyrinth.
Show me your resolve. You are inexhaustible. You are not an emperor if none of you kneel before you.
Okay, so in this room, there's actually 2 other rooms that I could go to. And I am not entirely sure. Well, I mean, there is a website that tells you what the layout is every day. Although that might only be on the end game version of it. I don't know. So I just have to look for doors and see which one is going to take me directly to the right. I don't want to go to the one that's to the top right, because that's going to be an optional room that I don't have to do. And I want to do as few rooms in this thing as I can. But the optional rooms will usually give you something like a key that will let you open up an extra treasure chest at the end. And apparently those treasure chests can sometimes have some pretty valuable stuff in them. But I don't care about that. All I care about is getting through this. Because this is easily my least favorite activity in the entire game. Which I'm glad that we don't really have to do these anymore for enchants, for helmet enchants. Oh my god, I almost died. Oh, that was an optional thing. Hey, that might be useful. Oh, that was a waste of time. Well, maybe it wasn't. It kind of was. But yeah, it's a labyrinth, and you have to sort of guess where you need to go and explore it and blah blah blah. And it's just so frustrating to me, because I know that I'm under pressure. If I disconnect or something, I'm gonna have to do this all over again. But yeah, these used to be necessary to run for helmet enchantments, and I think you could put enchantments on your gloves and boots. And so people would just, and the enchantments were random. So in order to get the enchantment you wanted, you would have to run this just over and over and over and over and over again. Now, the only thing that you get in these at the end game is the transfigured gems, I think. And so if you get the gems that you want, then you don't have to do these anymore. At least, I think. I might be wrong on that. I hope that I'm right, because that means I don't have to do this stuff. I've already got the gems I want for now. I thought about it for a bit, and I might actually be wrong in that there's less grinding needed now. Potentially there might be if you want to share gems between characters. You know, you could just get one transfigured gem to, the top level and then share it. But technically, you probably could have done that with the enchanted helmets anyway. So my assessment that there might not be as much grinding for the same effect is probably kind of false. We do still have to grind for these gems. a lot if we want to get them all. There's going to be, I would say, at least 120 Labyrinth runs if you want to get all the transfigured gems in the game. But it just, it depends on what your builds are. You might have to run less, you might have to run more. So, but yeah, it's still a lot of grinding through a very annoying place.
Wisdom is the offspring of suffering and time.
Yeah, this place sure is suffering and time, alright. Check this out. Yep, there's only 2 places that I could go. But yeah, I don't know the specifics of running Labyrinth. I just kind of wing it. But if you want to learn more about that, then I would suggest looking it up on the POE wiki, because quite frankly, I don't like this content enough to explain it. Sorry. I don't think I have to go there. If you see, I'm seeing like doors and levers down there, so if you see that, in my experience, it's more than likely that that is an optional part of the dungeon, and so it's usually safe to go in the other direction looking for the door to the next area. There are certain rooms where you are forced to do some levers and stuff in order to get to the next area, but usually it's a good idea to go in the other direction to try to find a door, because you might find another door that just takes you, quicker through where you want to go. Unless you want to do the optional parts of the labyrinth, which in that case do all the traps and all the levers and everything. Ah, see, I've got more levers and stuff here. Ah. And then I gotta wait for stuff because I got stuck and... Please be the end of the trial. It's not. Oh, it's near the end of the trial. Good, this is where I want to go. You can see by where the green highlight is, which line it's highlighting, will tell you what this room is connected to. So as you can see, I'm just going in a straight line across because that's where you get the fastest route, is to just go to the right as much as possible in a straight line. There are some versions of the Labyrinth that will have you going kind of a little bit up and down, and you've got no choice but to go through a couple of, extra rooms. But these lower level ones usually are fairly straightforward. I think this is an optional area. Maybe not. I'll go ahead and do it just to show you a little bit of what these places are like. They're annoying is what they are. Sometimes there are timed levers that you have to hit one and then you got to get to the other and hit it within a certain time frame. But as far as I know, there are no situations where you have to hit levers in a certain sequence. Slight correction. When you're going through locked doors and stuff, yes, you are technically hitting the levers in a sequence. But what I mean is that there are no puzzles where it's like, here's 3 levers, guess which order to pull them in. It's more straightforward than that. Fortunately. And you can get these, like I just found a Dark Shrine. Dark Shrines will last you for the entire Labyrinth. So that is a nice little feature. I wish that would have been an accelerating shrine. That would have been fun. But I got one that gives me regen, so that'll be nice for getting through traps. I hope this is the right place. Oh, it's not. I gotta find another door. So if you see the green light is highlighting upwards, So I don't want to go through there. I want to find the door that goes directly to the right, which I don't know if it is based in any way on like physical location in this space, or if it is just it picks a door at random to connect. But I'm gonna go to is like sort of the right here, looking for that other door. There's a door. And that leads to where I want to go. Alright, excellent. And come in and kill this guy the rest of the way.
An emperor must keep those promises.
These things right here will kind of show you what powers he has. And I think that there's a way to basically get rid of those to make the fight easier. There's certain things you can gather around the labyrinth that will make it easier. But I don't bother, because I've never needed to use those, at least not when I actually make a build that's decent, so. Watch him manage to kill me here, that would be embarrassing. There we go, okay. So he drops treasure keys that you can use to open chests in the next room. But opening the chest is not a necessary part of the labyrinth. That's not really what it's for. What I'm here for... Make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay. What I'm here for is to get the ascendancy points. So there's 3 things you can do in this ascendancy chamber. You open chests. I will grab that amulet. I don't think I need any of this stuff. There is a divine font, which will let you transform a skill gem into a random transfigured gem. I wish he would shut up. A random transfigured gem of the same color, which can give you some powerful gems, but it's semi-random. Or you can add quality to a gem. There's a couple other things you could do with this thing at the end game, like turn a gem into a faceter lens, it's called. I don't even know what that does, but I am going to grab a gem out of here, and I'm just going to grab a random blue one, because I know there are a couple of blue gems that I might want. I'm using a raised zombie of slamming gem in my other playthrough, so that would be kind of cool to get. Let's see, what did I get? I did not get those at all. Lightning Spire, Trap of Zapping. That kind of looks like the stupid little lightning totems that mobs use that instantly kills you. Arc of also that looks like a fairly powerful skill. It's a huge chaining arc, chain lightning basically. Yeah, that doesn't look super interesting. So, do I want a trap or do I want a fairly, what looks like a powerful chain lightning? I do eventually want to try a trap build, so I will grab this lightning spire trap. Something that would be really easy to miss. Make sure you actually pick up the gem from the font when you're done transfiguring it. It doesn't automatically put it in your inventory, so make sure you don't walk out without it. I won't be doing that in this playthrough, but I might do it in a future playthrough. So the transfigured gems, they have a skill that exists in the game normally, but they have like a special version of it, which is what the helmet enchantments used to do. It used to change the behavior of a given skill. And what they did was they changed it into this system where they just have skill gems that just do that. So that's what that is. And then finally you have this Altar of Ascendancy, which will let you choose your Ascendancy class when you do it the first time, and then you choose skill points for it later. And you can look at these without selecting them. But I know that I don't want this. I want... Well, I'll take a look at this. You can look at it just like you look at the regular passive tree. Oh, this one is about totems, which I'm not going to be using any totems. Yeah, this is about totems and arcane surge. So that is not really for me. I'm gonna hit back on that. Inquisitor is, I think it's, yeah, Inquisitor is about doing direct elemental damage. So I don't want that one either. Because my minions do elemental damage, some of them, but any bonuses that I get from here would not apply to them. So I'm going to pick Guardian, because that's what I wanted anyway. Guardian is just a really defensive build that you can make it do a variety of different, you know, styles. Apparently Guardian is not a good spec these days. People call it a trap. And I can kind of see why it's a bit of a generalist spec at this point. But, where's the thing that I wanted? Ah, yes. This is a really powerful passive for especially newbies, I would say, and when you're at low level. Every 4 seconds, regenerate 100% life over 1 second. And it also removes curses and elemental ailments from you. This skill right here is probably why this Ascendancy is considered a bit of a trap. It looks incredibly powerful. It looks, you know, like you can't die. But it does fall off at the end game, because in the end game there are absolutely a ton of mobs that will be able to kill you within 4 seconds. Even through any kind of regen that you might have from this. So, I do really like this, but it's kind of a crutch that is not going to benefit me that much later on, and I know that. But I wanted to try a minion build on a Guardian, so. But he does have some ally stuff too, which I wasn't taking advantage of in my last Templar playthrough. This might be really powerful, because link beams, I've never used them, but I assume that it's something that you like tether yourself to a target and you can actually cause ailments to mobs that are inside the beam. And there's something in the game that allows you to target your damageable minions with a link beam. But for now, because I haven't experimented with that, and minions deal 10% increased damage. Hey, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I kind of wanted to get the regen, but I think I'm actually going to go down this minion tree. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Because I did not try these minion abilities in my last playthrough of Templar, so I will get that. I will not get the regen as much as I like it, but I do know that it will not help me in the end game as much as it sounds like it would. So maybe Guardian is a good pick for Templar if you are doing a minion build. So I got that, I got my points, and now I have a new skill called Summon Guardians, or Guardian of Radiance or something like that. Is that what that was called? I don't even pay attention. But I'm gonna go to the Crystal Veins and summon this guy. Whoa! Oh, cool! So, I get those dudes that you fight in Innocence's chamber. Huh. So this guy will actually increase my survivability by taking some of the damage that I take. So that is... I like that. That's neat. Alright, Lady Diala. Bust open the belly of the beast. Okay. My inventory's got some crap in it, but that's alright. Oh, I probably should have talked to her again. I was hoping that the dude was permanent, but he's not. I will have to summon him frequently. But it looks like he lasts about, you know, the length of a short boss battle or something. How does he fight? Oh, he does a burning aura around him. Oh, wow, that's cool. That's why he moves so slow, it's because he's got that aura around him. Does he come with me when I teleport? Oh, he comes with me after I get a certain distance away from him. I see. A bunch of scrolls of wisdom are dropping. That's nice. Okay, I am starting to see more currency drops, it looks like. So I'm happy about that.
Heretic.
Oh.
My God takes good care of
I thought I had to do more stuff before I got to this fight.
I may have misjudged that god of yours.
Yeah, well, that was simple enough.
Twice now you've baptized me in my own blood, Templar.
Yeah,
It was
so
Melancholy.
are you gonna help me now? There we go. Alright, that was sudden. I forget what the order is here, and I thought that I had to fight the other 3 bosses before I fought her, so walking in the room and seeing her was a surprise. Alright, now I'm gonna go find the waypoint, and I guess that's where I'll end the video, because it's almost been half an hour of recording. And I don't want to do too much in one video. So I've done the Labyrinth, and I just kind of ran in here and randomly killed Piety, as if it was just Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I don't know. I think it is, actually. At least at the time of this recording. It's probably not Tuesday now.
Before we walk this path together,
I don't care. Alright. So, I did the Labyrinth and killed her, and I need to allocate a passive. Where do I want to put that? Because I've noticed that my minions seem to be a little bit squishy, I will give them increased life. They'll have reduced life recovery rate, but that's okay because a lot of them are temporary anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. So now they'll be a lot tankier. And I'm gonna head back to my hideout and sell some things. There we go. Inventory's nice and clean for the next run. And remember, 1 like equals 1 prayer to get this poor man some pants.